Hello everyone, welcome to day 12 of Vlogmas. Almost the halfway part, pretty much the halfway part. Yeah, it's the halfway part. Wow. So, hello, good day. The sun is shining and I had a nice, slow, late morning because, again, I was up late last night editing the video, the last video that you just saw, but that was probably one of my favorite videos so far. I think decorating the tree and then yesterday's video with the first snow, just because it's so holiday and just like different from like the day-to-day routines. So let me know down below what your favorite video that I've posted so far during Vlogmas has been, because that would actually really help me with content things. So yes, once I got my video up, I just kind of did my journaling and devotional routine, and I actually redid my nails because they chipped not even like a week after I doing them because life and work and all of those things. I wanted to say hello and let you know on the game plan for today. So we're going on an adventure. I'm really excited. So our friend Ant is coming over and he's going to pick us up, and we're going to go to this like hobby craft train store. It's not for me. George wants to get into like painting like figures and stuff, so he wants to go look at some like supplies that he would need for that, like paints and stuff and brushes and all that fun stuff. So of course I'm down to go to a craft store, but we're also going to go to a bookstore, which is what I'm super excited about. So the little town we're going to has the craft store, and there's like a bookstore called the Book Nook there. I've never been there before, but I did check them out, and they're like local owned small business, and I always love going to different bookstores that are definitely like local. So that'll be really exciting, and yeah, I'm just really excited to go to a bookstore and look around and browse and get inspired. And I still want to go to the other bookstore that I talked about in my last video that's close to where we live, because I just, again, didn't have time to browse, and I just loved the whole like ambiance in there, and the staff was really nice, and I just want to read through and just look and browse and all of that stuff and see if I would like anything. So I also updated my budget, like my personal budget this morning. That's a good habit to get into if you're trying to get a better hold on your finances, to always make it a habit to log your expenses. But that's why I love YNAB, because I can just go in, open my phone and add in the expenses, and then I know how much, like my budget's up to date. And I always check that when I go out shopping, whether it's the grocery store or Christmas shopping, or if I need to buy some home stuff, to make sure I don't overspend, because that's the goal. So I shifted some money around based off of like how much money I already spent and how much money was kind of floating in there for like miscellaneous things. So yeah, I shifted some money around, and I actually put some money into my like fun account, which fun is just basically anything for like anything I want. I kind of it's like my treat myself fund. So I think I put some money in there, and maybe I'll find a book and I can use the money in my fun account towards the book. I also wish there was more people, like my family liked books and stuff like that, because I love book shopping and I love buying books for other people, but my like parents aren't into it, my brother's not into it. It's just, there's no one really immediate in my life to buy books for, so it's a sad thing. I love buying books and supporting authors, but I only really buy myself books. But yeah, I haven't bought a book in a long time, so maybe we'll buy some books today and have a fun little like book haul or reading vlog or something. I don't know, I really want to do a reading vlog, so that's coming. That is kind of the game plan for today. I don't know what we're doing after our little adventure, probably just low-key. I do want to watch a Christmas movie tonight, and tomorrow is Saturday. I think it's supposed to like rain or just be gloomy, so it'll probably be a cozy home weekend vlog, and we'll figure out what to get into then. But that's what's going on today. We're going on an adventure to this craft store and the bookstore. But yeah, I will see you when we go on our adventure. welcome to day 13 of Vlogmas, and yeah, disclaimer, I had just filmed I think like 20 minutes worth of footage. Like I sat down to say hello and just try and figure out what I was gonna, just, talk and, tell you what was up. And then I went into this whole like long conversation about what I've been reading and what's on my TBR and like a lot of different things. And then I started talking about the current book that I'm reading, which I wanted to share with you all, but it just became so long-winded. And then my card was full, so I couldn't, I had to stop talking, which I think was a sign for me to just, get my points together and just say hello and get to the point. But anyway, now today has been a very chill day. It's Saturday. I've been at home just hanging out and doing some reading. So the exciting thing is last night I got that nudge, I got that spark to just start reading again. I feel like I go through waves with reading where it's like 2 weeks I love reading and then I need like 2 weeks off, which is totally fine. I feel like that's totally normal to not love something for like ever. I feel like as a multi-passionate person that just really fits me. So it was really nice to just get like that spark back again to want to get back into reading, because I have one more book that I need to finish for my 2020 Goodreads challenge. If you are on Goodreads, I will have my Goodreads account down below, so let's go be friends. That's where I get a lot of my inspiration of like books that I want to read. It's between like looking at who I'm following on Goodreads and seeing what their books are, and then also watching a lot of booktubers. So that's kind of where I get inspired to add books to my TBR, and I keep a running list in Goodreads. That's just where I keep my whole like book life, which is great. I love having that little app. It's so fun. But yeah, last night I started adding a bunch of titles to my TBR, and then I also realized, well, I didn't realize, I went on the website for the bookstore that I went to the other day, and then they closed at 6, and I want to go back and kind of just have more time there. I went on their website to kind of browse a little bit and just, see anything. But they're having a sale for the rest of the month through Christmas Eve. If you buy 4 books, you get 5 free. If you buy 4 books, you get 1 free. So I was like, okay, I think I might take advantage of this. So again, reworked some of my budget, and I think I'm not gonna get all 5 books for myself. I want to get some books for some Christmas gifts. And I was saying in my other video that it's nobody in my family really wants books, so I kind of talked to George and got him inspired to I told him to give me some book titles, so he gave me some book titles, so we'll see if they have any. And I think I can like order books through them if they aren't physically there. And I'll also check and see if there's any like kids books for my nieces, and also maybe another kind of book for my brother's girlfriend. We'll see, but I have titles that I want to get, so we'll go there. I'm gonna vlog it, obviously. I might go today. I want to go today. I still want to go today, so maybe we'll go do that. I've just been trying to kind of relax and honor my energy because it is my time of the month, so keeping it low-key and easy and slow has kind of been my like thing this weekend. But there are definitely some books that I want to read, and I'll just show a clip here of the books that I've added to my TBR last night. But I really want to read The Midnight Library by Matthew Haig, and I believe that the bookstore has a copy, so I think I might be getting that book. And there are some other books that I want to purchase that are by authors that are Black, Indigenous, or people of color, because that's kind of an important criteria for me when it comes to purchasing books, is that I want to make sure I'm supporting authors that are Black, Indigenous, and persons of color, and that are not problematic. So it's very important for me to at least do some research on the author and before I go and purchase a book. And if I still want to read a book but I don't want to support the author, I'll try and find it by other means, either secondhand or through my library. So that's kind of the book update. And in the other clip I filmed, I just went on a really long tirade. But I also wanted to share the book that I'm reading today, since I want to do a little reading vlog portion for today. Okay, so the book that I'm reading right now is called Dark Archives, A Librarian's Investigation into the Science and History of Books Bound in Human Skin. I think I found this book, and it's by Megan Rosenblum, who is a medical librarian at the Norris Medical Library at the University of Southern California in LA, and she has also worked at the Philadelphia Museum of Medicine. I don't know, I'll put the actual like name of that. But she's done a lot of research in Philadelphia. I work in Philadelphia. I'm working in archives in Philadelphia, so this book just really struck me because one, it's in my line of work, so I think that's fascinating to kind of get to see kind of a book that was just published that is in my field, which is super exciting. But also a lot of her research and a lot of the names and places that she goes to are in Philadelphia, which again is fascinating. She also talks about Princeton Library, and like she describes the libraries that she goes to, and I've been to the Sheed Library at Princeton, and it just like brought back the memories of being there. And then she like mentioned how she saw parts of the Gutenberg Bible, and I was like, I saw that. Princeton also has some like actual original manuscripts written by Beethoven, Mozart, and Bach, and I remember when I was there, I saw one of those pieces of sheet music. I think it was the one by Mozart, I forget. Yeah, the Princeton like University Library in general is great, but the special collections, the Sheed Library, is where she was at and was describing in the book, and it was just like, I've been there. So it's like really fun when you can read something and you've been there, and you're just like, it was igniting feelings for me. But anyway, that's a side rant. But the topic, basically, if you don't know, there are rare books, like old books, that have been bound in human skin, which just sounds crazy, and it's true, because as I'm learning through this book, 19th century practice where doctors basically mistreated marginalized people's bodies and turned them into objects by binding skinning their body and binding books with their skin, which is just atrocious and disgusting, but also equally fascinating if you work with archives and library, and you're also into death and dying, which is like me. So this is just like really up my alley, and it's a quick read. I think it's only, the ebook's 230 pages, but I looked, and the actual content, the text is only 170 pages, and then you run into the notes, because notes are very long. So that's my goal, is to finish this book this weekend. I have today and tomorrow, so I definitely should be able to read it. And that'll be kind of what our reading adventure for today's portion of Vlogmas will kind of document. So that's what I started reading last night, and I'm going to try and read a little bit more now. I'm on chapter 6, which is The Long Shadow of the Night Doctors. I love the titles of the table of the chapters as well. So we have This Dreadful Workshop, Gentleman Collectors. Chapter 4 was called Skin Craft. Chapter 5 was Secrets of the Sagas Femmes. And Sagas Femmes is the French word for midwife, which literally translates to wise women. So that chapter was about midwives, a specific woman, a French midwife to royalty, Henry VIII maybe. So that was really interesting. Now I'm on The Long Shadow of the Night Doctors. So the other interesting thing about this book is it's not just talking about old books bound in skin. You have the medical aspect and the history of just doctors and physicians and the practice of that, but it's also exploring race and gender and class, which is all, things that I just find fascinating. To dive deeper into this, it's okay, one, why are these people binding books in skin? And then two, what type of skin are they using? Who are the people? There are stories to these people. So they're getting, this part of the book, there was a lot of false claims in history of people saying this book was bound in skin, and then they tested it. There's scientific side of this as well. The author has teamed up with a scientist, and they're DNA testing these books to see if they're actually made out of skin, and they've human skin, and they've confirmed that. But there are a lot of fakes that are actually bound in sheepskin and cow skin and one was in horse skin. But there are some books that have an inscription on it that say bound in human skin. Like that's pretty common, and that's a clue that tells librarians that this might be bound in human skin, and then it'll get prompted to be tested. One specific instance that she talked about where a black man who was a Revolutionary War soldier was claimed to, he was the first person that died in the American Revolution. There's some guy that claimed that he used that soldier's skin to bound a book and then put that in the inscription. So the conversation that I'm getting into now is, why did people need to, you know, put a note saying this was the skin of a black man or this was the skin of a Native American man? Because they never put this is the skin of a white man, because this is still relevant today. Like white is default, like white is the default. We don't need to say somebody's white because we just assume that they're white. But if somebody's, you know, of a different race, that's something that people would need to point out. That's the chapter I'm getting into now, which I think is really fascinating. And specifically, there's people of color books that have been bound. So like they're taking books written by black people or other people of color and getting them bound in human skin. So the question is like, why are they doing this? So that's what I'm getting into next. And I'm gonna read this chapter, check in, and then maybe go to the bookstore. We'll see, because I also want, George and I want to go to the grocery store, and it's like 3:43. So this chapter I should get done in like 20 minutes. So I'm back from the bookstore and wanted to share what I picked up. Disclaimer, I spent more money than I ever thought I would spend because I got all hardcovers, but 2 of those are gifts and I'm supporting a local business. So, you know, I was like, it's all right, we'll make this work. I only got 2 physical books and I have 2 books that I had to order because they weren't there. I wanted to pick up The Midnight Library. That is like the book that I want to read like the most right now, and I just can't get my hands on it. So I ordered that, and apparently I won't be able to get it until December 21st, which is fine. I can wait until then. The other book that I ordered was The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. That one I think I might get next week. Hopefully I'll be able to go pick it up before the big snowstorm on Wednesday. Spoiler alert, we're getting a big snowstorm next week, so more snow vlogs, but I'm excited. I'm super excited for that. But anyway, and then I picked up some other books that are gifts that I will not share right now, and then I just got 2 physical books that I just wanted to share right now. Okay, so the first book that I'll share is The Secret Garden, which you've probably already heard of. It's a classic children's literature book, and if you saw my last vlog, then you know that I've been wanting to pick up some kind of children's literature book just because I want to kind of experience that magic of reading a kid's book, because I just haven't done that like since I was a kid. So this was in the like staff recommendation section at the front of the store, and I was just really drawn by the cover art. It is like gorgeous. Let's see if that will like focus on there. But yeah, the book jacket has the cover art, and then the actual book has the same cover art, which I just think is gorgeous. But The Secret Garden, I've never read it, but it's pretty much a classic book that I feel like a lot of people have read. It's written by Frances Hodgson Burnett, which was published in 1912. But yeah, I think the whole like plot about this girl that goes into the secret garden that's full of, you know, just full of secrets. It just sounds like something I need to help me escape. And it has beautiful illustrations. Of course, I can't find any, but there's color illustrations and there's also some black and white illustrations as well, which I think might be by two different artists. Maybe not. Nope, they're both by Tasha Tudor. So all of the illustrations are by Tasha Tudor, but I'm excited to just, you know, read a classic old children's book and get lost in it and just have a magical grand old time. The second one is Saigon, a misfits memoir of great books, punk rock, and the fight to fit in by Phuc Tran, which is a Vietnamese American who actually grew up in Pennsylvania, which is why I'm drawn to this book. So this is a memoir about his experience as an immigrant coming here in 1975, right after the Vietnam War. His family immigrated here and landed in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, which is central Pennsylvania. I'm very familiar with that area because I actually went to school like 30 minutes from there, and like all of central PA is very similar. And that's where I grew up. Like two hours north of where he grew up, but it's just a story of the struggles of abuse and racism that he grew up experiencing as an Asian American, as an immigrant, and how he found a sense of belonging. And I just love how he likes punk rock, like that's in the story, because for me, like, I really feel a connection to music. Like, music really helped me get through, like, my tough years as a middle schooler, teenager, college, and even, like, today. And the music scene that I was a part of in college is where I found belonging, and I feel like punk rock, like, is a scene where somebody can find belonging who doesn't feel like they belong. So I'm really excited to read this because I want to read more books by Asian authors, and this is, like, a local Pennsylvania person who I just think, like, I was just immediately drawn to this, so I'm really excited to read this. Yeah, so those are the two books right now. I won't go into details of the other two books until I get them, so when they come, I'll share them in the vlogs, but those are what I got for right now. I have to edit this video. I need to get this vlog up tomorrow, but I want to squeeze in at least another chapter of Dark Archives on my ebook, and then just crank out editing for the rest of the night. So it is 8:30, a good prime time to make some tea, do a little reading, and then just go ham on video editing. I will talk to you tomorrow in tomorrow's vlog. Yeah, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next one.